Hi, my name's Lindy Cowling. Welcome to the channel. My website is www.lindycowling.co.uk. My email is info@lindycowling.co.uk. The title of this short video today is The Twin Flame Heart. The Twin Flame Heart. So as I explained in a video a couple of months back, and that video was called Union Defined. So that one was called Union Defined. You can come into a state of unified energy and into an awareness of the unified field and in a state of heart portal consciousness, in a balanced format, in a unified, complete, whole format in various ways. But I'm referring to the way that you can come into that state of awareness and state of consciousness via the entry point of the twin flame union. Twin flame being aspects of same soul in more than one human being at the same time. So aspects of same soul experiencing consciousness, experiencing life in human form at the same time. An equally balanced masculine and feminine format of expression of soul. One could even say different aspects of soul, different fractals of soul. So I'm going to refer to that entry point because that was my entry point to the heart and to the twin flame heart, and my entry point to a unified, balanced, whole state of consciousness that got me into the multidimensional blueprint awareness via the entry points of 0 point energy field. Sounds like I'm giving a physics lesson. Okay, so twin flame heart, for the purposes of this video, anyone that is on a path of awakening, whether they have anything to do with the twin flame union or not, anyone that's on a path of awakening has to, if they are really going to get to their ultimate expression, have to go through the path of the heart. And there are various entry points that can propel someone in their life into their heart portal. Sometimes it's life events, sometimes it's meeting someone, sometimes it's a spontaneous awakening. And people can get up to various levels. Not everybody gets up to the same levels, but the entry point really, the stirrings of heart awakening start, around about 4D really. So it could be stimulated in 3D and get into 4D stirrings, but for the point of awakening into a multi-dimensional awareness state, consciousness state, a 12D blueprint state, it's a 5D minimum and up. So it starts at 5D, it doesn't end at 5D. That's where you start the bottom rungs really of consciousness in the heart. And where twin flame union are concerned, a basic awakening for anybody, you have to get into the heart. You are propelled into the heart anyway. But if you're dealing with aspects of same soul facing you, so aspects of same soul in other another human body in your life at the same time, either that they propelled that and started that process with you and you did for them, or they are still in your life, or you're still with them, or you're still in communication. The point I'm making here is for the purpose of the consciousness and the twin flame heart, you do not have to be in physical communication with them. They don't have to be in your life at all, actually. It doesn't derail or deactivate that process of consciousness if you've chosen on a soul level to go forward into it. But when you activate in that way, if it's with a fractal or same aspect of same soul, what happens is everything is amplified significantly. So if you were nothing to do with twin flame union and you were going through awakening, it would be potentially quite life-changing and traumatic anyway. But if you were faced with, or had been triggered by, or had been in communication with, or in connection with, or in partnership with a genuine twin flame or genuine twin flame union, then everything is amplified. And the reason it's amplified is because you are faced with, in some ways, the polarized form, so the opposite form in energy and yet the same form. When I say the opposite form in energy, again, I mean like night and dark. So there's that relation between, there's night and day. So there's a relationship between night and day, even though that they're ultimately connected. There is that difference, hot and cold, both under the umbrella of temperature, but there's those two polarities, differences. You know where I'm going with this. So there's that connection, but they're two ends of the same spectrum. If you are connected with somebody in that capacity, a twin or another fractal of soul in that capacity, in a polarized form, and twin flame union is a polarized form of that connection, and everything is amplified and intensified even more. And really, it comes into connection with everything, with the whole energy bodies, with the soul, with the magnetics, with the toroidal field, the torus, the energy field. And what happens is, in that particular connection, there's an overlap. And I could almost say this is where the figure 8 and the infinity symbol comes in. There's a connection at the center point of the toroidal field, and there's a connection at the center point of the heart. So where on previous videos over the years, over the last 3 years, and I speak from personal living experience, that's where I always come from when I'm doing this kind of sharing or any kind of teaching. I'm going from personal experience or that of my clients, but often the both combined, apart from my own knowing from higher self now. There's an overlap. So that, like that figure 8, for example, there's that meeting point or center point. And let's call that center point the heart, because it all is about the heart. And where twin flames are concerned is where an individual, for example, would be going through that identical kind of process of awakening and coming into the heart. With twin flames, there's an overlap of that when they're at a certain point in it, of that energy running backwards and forwards, that all comes into the center of the heart. And that point there is really that 0 point, that neutral point, that point of purity, that point of bliss, that point of creation, that capacity to create amplified significantly because it's coming from that purity and it's coming from that combination of energy, polarized energy, neutralized in essence, in effect, in the center of the point of the heart, at the center point of the heart, 0 point, all the same thing, as new energy. Everything outside of them, and even in their own energy fields, and even in the soul experience, in the early stages, is polarized, which is why so many of them don't end up around each other, because it's incredibly difficult to navigate that in a human life. But when or if one or both hit a certain stage of consciousness and awareness in the process, they can come either both of them or one of them, because when I say it might be only one of them might have turned away from the process or turned away from themselves. That's still the same thing. Or stuck with the old concepts and got caught up in that, very commonplace. So one or both of them can come into this 0 point, neutral point, center point, heart point, center of the energy fields, center of it all, center of the toroidal field. And this is the point of not only creation, but pure slate white clean energy. That is a point at which one can create very quickly and very easily from, even if you were, let's say, on your own, but with the two twins in communication, for example, or around each other or with one another, even more so. But another huge product of this is also they can also at that point transmute and transform energies from outside of them. So like a giant filtration unit, they can pass those energies through them in an old format from places, countries, people, towns, villages, individuals. Take it through them as a process almost of osmosis or alchemy, or like transformers, through that vast heart complex, heart portal, the twin flame heart, and it be transformed from old energy into that neutral, pure, new energy state. So you can see the, sorry, I'm fiddling about here because my cat's cuddled up next to me here, and he's just knocked something down onto the floor there. There we are. So you can see how significant this is, because the two in combination, that is extremely powerful. It is transforming one polarized form of energy, taking it in to a neutralized state, and regurgitating it in a way, or processing it in a way, or transforming it in a way, or alchemizing it in a way, rewriting consciousness in a way, templating it in a way, blueprinting it in a way, so that it comes out in a different form, a pure form, a new form, a conscious form. And of course, at the heart of the twin flame heart, if If you ask me what that purity is and that consciousness is and that process is, well, it's creation and it is love. And if we try and break down love, it's really even hard to explain love, because it's love in every possible form that you can imagine, multiplied infinitely, because most of us, or most people, have a linear perception of love, but it's love in its most pure form, but yet in all its forms, as a creationary state of pure consciousness. So the twin flame heart is at the heart of creation, which is why it is invaluable in the new relationship paradigm, because it has been and still is part of that conduit holding frequency, if you like, stabilized frequency, when it is stabilized in that, let's call it that perfect form. And it has enabled others, and will enable many others, thousands and then millions, to take advantage of the template and blueprint and neutral state of consciousness that process of the twin flame heart has alchemized. I've said all along, twin flame union is not the only ascension template. There are many other people here from all kinds of backgrounds and all stages of awareness and all stages of consciousness, that different routes, different entry points, that are still providing ascension service, ascension templates, ascension blueprints, and helping people to find their way through these. But from the point of view of the twin flame heart, you can see when I explain it in this way how amazing that is and has been. Now, when I say has been, it's because to a certain degree, the job has been done. But it's not as if one does that and then all the twin flames disappear off somewhere. When I say the job's been done, people are already, it's happening, new relationship paradigm is happening, conscious relationships are happening, that whole arena is changing every single week. So that's a great news, because that has worked. But what is happening is the genuine twin flame union that are here, which are all active service orientated, they are also changing and also moving forward, and also in some ways going through a process of alchemy. You could say to me, how is that happening then? Because if they're twin flame union, surely they just have to maintain that status quo. You don't maintain a status quo by doing nothing and just saying, just like a rabbit in the headlight like this. You maintain a status quo by still expanding and moving forward in your consciousness, but going back to center point, going back to the heart, going back to homeostasis, that balance within. It doesn't mean you stay static or still, because then otherwise you become quite stagnant. What I'm saying is, if you are genuinely involved in twin flame union, you can, if you choose, get to a point where You understand this and you can process this, and you are in a state of balance and completion and actually in union. And again, just like that video I brought out before a few months back, union defined. Union is defined in two ways. You can be in union and never see your twin flame again because it's a unified state of being, which can never be taken away from you. You can be in union with all that is, all that you are. That is a huge part of it, a huge part of the process. Or you can be in that balanced, complete format alongside your twin flame, who is also in a balanced, complete format, or alongside someone else that is not your twin flame, that is in a balanced, complete format. And you, as an original part of twin flame union, will still always be of the twin flame heart. Can you do great things with that? Well, you already have, and yes, you can do amazing things with that. You're almost driven to do so. Can you achieve amazing things with that with other people? Yes, you can. Will it be exactly the same and identical to if it was your original twin flame, or that aspect of you in masculine or feminine form? No, it won't be exactly the same as that, because that carries with it, like I said at the beginning of the video, an enormous amount of energy and an enormous amount of power in a different way. You're great transducers, really. You're great conduits, great alchemizers, great rewriters of old junk, reforming it literally by its running through the center point and coming out as new templates and new blueprints, or in pure form, really. So it won't be exactly the same as that. It would be wrong to say it would be less than, just different than. And the point is, once you're of that heart and you've gone forward in your process and got to that point, you've got to it. And you can do amazing things with that. And in fact, if you're genuinely of twin flame union, you're drawn to do amazing things with that. So the reason I'm bringing this out today is I haven't brought a video out specifically on this before. And I'm just fascinated by the physics and the quantum physics. That's a point at which I'm at. I'm crazy on the quantum side of it at the moment. Clearly, that's a part of me that's opening up a lot. And I am really fascinated by it, and can see that that is all parts of our evolution and where we are going and morphing into is quantum. And it's important for me to say that if you are not connected to the twin flame heart directly, i.e. if you're not involved in twin flame union directly, you will still be going through a massive process of coming into your heart, and a massive process of going through your process until you come into a state of balance and in a unified state, and start connecting with others that are imbalanced or of that unified state. And in the meantime, till you get there, others will come in to trigger certain aspects of you until you get to that unified state of going into your heart, because the heart literally is everything. It's all of it. It's ascension, it's quantum, it's galactic, it's love, it's creation, it's past, present and future, it's infinite. It's where we rewrite consciousness, we rewrite history, we rewrite the future, which of course is all being rewritten now, because all of it, past, present and future, is now. All of it, and all of it is overlapping. So the genuine twin flame union that are here are all, if they've got to that stage, not if they haven't got to that stage yet, but if they've got to that stage in their own evolution, separately and collectively or jointly, they run energy this way automatically. And certainly the genuine twin flame union that I've worked with, we have been able to bounce, so to speak, different concepts and consciousness off one another, and it has been enormously helpful to the collective because it has rewritten the laws of science or the laws for humanity. It's changing right at the heart of all institutions, because genuine twin flame union can be found all over the planet in all institutions, in the most unexpected places. Shedding and bringing light into those places, shedding and bringing frequency into those places, shedding and bringing transformation into those places, bringing the light to the shadow, the light to the dark, illuminating, and therefore bringing transformation. And it is all still the twin flame heart. If they're connected to genuine twin flame union, it's the twin flame heart again. I could almost say twin flame hearts, because it's the heart of each of them combined, that toroidal field, that torus, that energy field combined, the combination, but individually them getting to a certain point themselves. But that energy, that heart energy, not just being taken out into the world, but the world running through it in that never-ending dance, that infinite dance. Think of that, what that infinity symbol is. Constant running through of energy that touches at center point, whee, and around it goes again, around it goes again. So I hope I explained that in an understandable fashion. You'll have noticed I brought a hell of a lot of videos out this week. Really, none of them were planned. It's quite spontaneous. There'll be one or two more, probably announcements about events that I'm going to be doing shortly, both on radio and American radio, but also in New York. And while I am in America, I won't be on video for a couple of weeks. That's not yet, that's not till later in the month. But I won't be on camera for a couple of weeks, so that might be why I'm being quite spurred on here to get out here and put some more work out for a bit as well. But anyway, as always, thank you again for watching this channel. Thank you again for subscribing. And I hope you're doing well. I know everything is so crazy fast at the moment. It's crazily fast. But it's all, again, I'm going to say, it's all going the right way. It's all gone the right way. Just keep coming into balance. Take a deep breath. Go through your process. Look after yourselves. And keep it real. And keep it in the now. I love you and leave you. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.